Among the fact that we're getting Resident Evil 9, now we have a Silent Hill 1 remake currently in the works by Bloober Team. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest, I didn't actually have any confidence that Bloober Team would actually be able to deliver a genuinely good game when it came to Silent Hill 2 Remake. I'm glad to say that I was completely wrong and that it turned out incredibly well. That being said, however, Silent Hill 1 is going to be a completely different sort of affair. Silent Hill 2 is the most beloved game in the franchise by Silent Hill fans, and is also one of the original Silent Hill games that were made in Japan, because not long after the release of Silent Hill for the Room, most of the Silent Hill games after that were actually created by Western developed those games were Western developed and made by Western developed studios, and they were not particularly good. And in fact, as we all know, Book of Memories, which came out on the PS Vita, I want to say 2012, 2013-ish, is basically what killed Silent Hill as a franchise altogether. Is it possible that, that game alone killed it? No, not necessarily, but Silent Hill games during that sort of end-ish period of 2010-ish wasn't great to begin with. When we had games like Silent Hill Homecoming, Silent Hill Downpour, which I recently just got a physical copy of, so I cannot wait to, play some Downpour as well. Silent Hill Origins on the PSP, as well as Shattered Memories, which came out on Wii and PSP. That was a very interesting take on Silent Hill. But now we're going back. So for those of you guys that don't know, Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 were all on the PS1 and had the fixed camera approach, isometric view, that type of thing. Silent Hill 1 is in the same era, basically. Because Silent Hill 2 basically took inspiration from Resident Evil 4, or rather, both of these games, I should say, were third person moving forward with their relevant franchises, until Resident Evil went first person with Resident Evil 7, and Silent Hill went first person with the short message. But now we're getting Silent Hill 2 Remake, which was third person, and Silent Hill F. I don't know what the camera angles for F are going to be, but that's another game worth being excited for. So I feel like Bloober Team has a lot of work on their hands to actually get Silent Hill 1 to a more modern standard, in the sense of camera angles, controls, and things like that. Is it possible that they're going to change around some aspects of the story? I sure as hell hope not, because that's not something that I'm personally looking for. So, a partnership between Konami and Bloober Team to develop a new game based on a Konami IP was first announced in February, and during Konami's press start broadcast, they did in fact talk about Silent Hill being worked on by Bloober Team in partnership with Konami, and here is what the teaser looks like. So it's quite dark, you see a little bit of fog coming up, so we're about 10 seconds in, I want to say, 12 seconds, and then you slowly see the words Silent Hill, Silent Hill in development, with Konami's logo on the top left and the Bloober Team logo on the top right. Does it say anything else, or is that really about it? I think that might be about it. Yeah, it just kind of stays there for a few seconds and then just goes away, basically. Yeah. So that's all that's mentioned or announced. And it's worth keeping in mind that the style of the fog coming in, looking a little bit grayish background kind of thing, that comes from the original Silent Hills cover art, where you've got the main character's face on the right, looking sort of, I guess, so his face is like on the right side of the cover, looking to his left about sort of 45 degrees-ish on that art, and it's all kind of, you don't actually see his, well, you do see his face, like the shape of it, I should say, but the color of his face is basically the same color as the actual gray that you've seen in this trailer here. So I feel like the trailer was intended to invoke the memories of looking at the Silent Hill, the original Silent Hill's cover art, effectively, from the PS1. So it is very interesting to see the approach that's being taken, who's doing it, what that kind of looks like, because there's a lot going on here, more than I think people realize. Like I said, Silent Hill 1 comes from the original era of horror games, where we had that sort of fixed camera perspective. And I say original, obviously horror games have been around for a while, but this is the more sort of visual impact of art that we don't see as much until the PS1 era, where we did get Resident Evil 1 with that famous title screen. Silent Hill didn't really get big until Silent Hill 2, but yeah, it's still kind of disappointing to know that we once got PT and that could have been a huge Silent Hill game on its own and could have been the start to a potential Silent Hill revival, but unfortunately everything just fell apart. In the end, we did get something like Death Stranding, so maybe things fell apart for the better. But with the amount of promise shown from PT alone as a concept, and the fact that Silent Hill, the short message which came out years later, was just significantly worse in every way, shape, or form, from the main character to what they're trying to push as the message, or rather the way they tried to push their message, it just didn't really work out in my opinion. But this is something worth being extremely excited about, and I am very, very excited to jump in, because I love my horror games and horror movies and horror media. So without a shadow of a doubt, as someone who's grown up playing Silent Hill games, playing Resident Evil games, this is definitely up there for me personally. So yeah, with all that being said, however, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. I'm actually interested to hear, if you're a horror game fan, where do you, is this something that's actually going to be a thing that you're interested in? Because I feel like they have to do the remake treatment. They can't do the remaster treatment like they did with Silent Hill 1 and Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 0. The HD version of those games, that came out on PS3 and PS4 respectively, and other platforms of course, but that's where I played it. Those games were just recreating the original games, just looking a lot nicer. But the thing is that remaking it and changing the perspective completely to over the shoulder rather than fixed camera angles, I wonder if that's going to break immersion to some extent, or if that is actually going to work as a possible way of presenting the game to people. Who the hell knows? But yeah, if you're a horror game fan, like I said, let me know in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 500 subs by the end of the year, and with all that being said, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.